From McCormick Gymnasium in Fargo, North Dakota, good evening, everyone. I'm Celie Stockmo alongside Addie Bogenreef as we get set for North Dakota High School volleyball action as the Shanley Deacons prepare to take on the West Fargo Packers. Volleyball on Shanley TV is presented by the Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level. We have an exciting game for you tonight. Stay tuned and we will return shortly, right after this message from our Deacon partners.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Beyond Boundaries Therapy Services, Busick, Olson and Associates, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Fusion Electric, Luther Family Buick GMC, Moore Engineering, Network Center, Off the Wall Advertising, OnSharp, Sanding Law, Sanford Health, and Shields.
All right, Addie. So we have a big game here tonight. The Deacons have come up some kind of harder games these past few days, and I know that the Packers are ready to beat them again like they did the last time that these two teams faced off. So what players do you think we need to look out for tonight?
I think for the Shanley Deacons, we have to look out for Mesaku Haikim. She's been doing very well for the Deacons, adapting to all her roles on the team. And then Carly Hallstein, who is coming back from an injury. She hurt her ankle a few weeks ago playing against North, and she's back tonight for the first time in a while. So see her to get some good swings, some good blocks, and just get out there and lead the team.
I definitely agree. So what do you think about for the Packers now?
I think to look out for the Packers would be Raina Thiakuski. She's a freshman for the Packers, has been playing for 2 years now, and is very steady in the back row, leads the great defense of the Packers. And then their setter, number 28, Olivia Swaney. She's the leader of this team, playing all the way around. So watch her to get into some offense on herself and then control the offense with her setting her teammates.
For sure, I think that those are some really key players, and they have some very good athletes on that team. I think that the Deacons maybe don't have that much star power, but they have a lot of power. They just have to come together and really play as a team here. Otherwise, the season might not end the way they want it to.
I agree, Celie.
Looks like we're getting set here. I think the biggest thing that I'm looking for from the Deacons coming off of the past games that I've watched is just communication and energy. You can see that when they have a mishit or something goes out of bounds, a misserve, they really struggle to kind of bounce back from those type of things.
I agree, Celie. That's a very key fact in volleyball. Volleyball is a game of mistakes, and you have to be able to shake it off. So shaking off the mistakes today for the Deacons will be very important.
For sure, and I think from the Packers, I feel like they've had a pretty good season. I think they just have to capitalize off their hitters and just really take advantage of the hopefully good passes that they'll get up to their setter.
I agree. We got number 1, Ella Stimpson, up to serve. Good pass. Set to the right side. Good dig. Free ball sent over by Hakim. Pass, Soini. To the middle, number 18, Weary with the kill.
She's really coming out this season. I think that she's really improved from past seasons.
We got number 11, Halverson, up to serve. Good deep serve by her. Passed well by the Deacons. Rentschler with the swing. Looks like a little bit just mistimed. Then we got Gousset with the swing over. Rentschler with another swing for the Deacons.
Great up there by Tikuski.
Out. And number 1, Peterson with the kill for the Packers.
That wasn't even so much of a hard hit as it was perfectly placed. I think we're going to see that a lot from the Packers. Just really good volleyball IQ.
Number 11, Halverson up to serve. Good serve by her. Passed well by the Deacons. Out to Hakim. Great dig by Kwiatkowski. And a swing by Gousset. Dug by the Deacons. Swing, Rentschler. Out to Peterson. Roll for her. And that's just touched out of bounds by the Deacons.
Great job getting there for that block on the Deacons' part. Just didn't get it on the right side of the line there.
Halverson up to serve. It's a good float by her. Out to Rentschler. Great swing by her, and the Packers can't control it.
That is a hard ball to get up.
We got number 5, Cutterbutt, into the game for the Deacons to play defense. And she's up to serve. Good deep serve by her, handled by Halverson. Out to Gousset. Great hustle by Kwiatkowski, but that's just down for the Deacons.
That was an amazing block. The timing there is exactly what the Deacons need to do tonight. They've got to get to all their blocks in time to get these hits back down.
Cutterbutt up to serve. Great placement by her.
Lift.
Looks like there's a lift call on the pass by Halverson. That'll be an ace for Cutterbutt.
That kind of reaction is kind of prompted by the speed of that ball.
Cutterbutt with the serve, handled by Kwiatkowski. Out to Peterson. She just tips it, a little bit mistimed. It looks like that ball's just a little bit tight for Hakim, and she's not able to capitalize on that. That will be point Packers. We got McIntosh into the game for the Packers, and Kwiatkowski with the serve. It's a great serve by her, handled nicely by Ullman. And that's Ullman with the tip into the block, but that will be a lift by the Deacons. Point Packers, and Kwiatkowski up to serve again. And that's just into the net by Kwiatkowski. That will be point Deacons.
I think that's kind of a rare miss from her, but we're seeing a really close game so far. The Deacons just have to keep doing what they're doing.
Shorma into the game to play middle, and Holstein with the serve. Handled nicely by Peterson. Back to the right side. Gousset with the kill. That was placed beautifully by Gousset. And she'll head out of the game. And number 4, Zepeda will be back in to serve.
That is some real power behind the ball and perfect line drive.
Zepeda with the serve. Handled by Ullman. Out to Ullman. Great swing by her just in the middle of the defenders.
Perfectly placed there. She saw where the defense was, and she hit right where they weren't.
Roach into the game to swing right side for the Deacons, and number 2, McNeely up to serve. Deep serve by her, handled by Kwiatkowski. And a swing by Peterson off the block touch. Pass over by Ullman. Just a little bit mistimed by McIntosh.
Need a little more communication.
Peterson with the swing, and that will just be tucked into the block for the Deacons. Point Packers.
That was a great block there from the Deacons. But it looks like it just didn't go their way.
Peterson with the serve. Ullman with the pass, and she'll take the swing, and that's just into the net for her.
That's a harder swing from the back row there, but it's good that she's trying to take those chances.
Yes. Peterson with the serve again. Deep serve by her, handled by Ullman. Swing for Roach, and that's a beautiful swing handled by Kwiatkowski. And McIntosh with some power in the middle. That's a great swing by her. Just touched off the Deacons' backcourt.
That's a harder ball to get to, too, when it's really just that deep in the end zone.
Peterson with the serve. Handled by Ullman. Tight. Just an overpass handled by Shorma. And Ullman with the pass. Roll over by Halverson, and that will get the point for her. That was a beautifully placed ball right in the middle of the court where the Deacons just weren't. What do you think we need to see from the Deacons to change this set around for them?
I think it's a lot of communication. Even from the beginning when it was a close game, I see some players running into each other, maybe two players going for a free ball. That just really can't happen in these situations when you have to be really on your mental game. And I think that for the Packers, they just have to keep doing what they're doing. They're getting a lot of balls up and a lot of hits, at least attempts. And that's really important right now. We're seeing a lot of free balls from the Deacons and a lot more hits from the Packers. Hopefully the Deacons will come out of this timeout ready to come back from this deficit.
We still got number 1, Peterson, up to serve. Deep serve by her, handled by Ullman. Middle set to Shorma. Taken by Robin. Passed up by Kwiatkowski. McIntosh with some power. That's a great freshman.
And one thing you can see there is that block did not get up in time, and it was not in the right spot. Against these really hard hitters, you've got to get there.
Peterson with the serve, and that's just shanked off by Cutterba. An ace for Peterson, and point Packers.
She has a little serving streak going here. Hopefully the Deacons can try and put a stop to it.
Deep serve by her, handled by Robin. Dump over by McNeely, and that will score for her. That's a very smart way to get out of a rotation, especially when they've been stuck there for a while.
Yeah, that was a great play by her.
Number 6, Rentschler back into the game for the Deacons, and Ullman with the serve. That's just a deep serve by her. Point Packers.
Those are the kind of mistakes right now that the Deacons really can't be making. Those are just silly mistakes that can really try and avoid those.
McIntosh up to serve. Handled nicely by the Deacons. And just a good swing by Rentschler, being smart and placing it in the middle of the court. Kwiatkowski back into the game for the Packers. And number 27, Holstein into the game for the Deacons. Robin with the serve.
Great serve.
And it looks like that will just be hit into the top of the tape by Weary. Served by Robin, handled by Peterson. Out to Halverson. And that just wasn't able to be controlled by the Deacons, hitting the ceiling and coming straight back down. Point Packers.
Yeah, that was great hustle, I think, from the Deacons. We just got to limit those little errant passes there.
Soini up to serve. Great serve by her. Hand tight, just pass, and it looks like the Deacons will be into the net. Soini up to serve. Deep serve by her, handled by Rentschler. A little missed timing by Roach, but she was able to get it over. Swing by Gousset, and that is blocked. Great hustle by the Packers, but that will go down as a great Deacon block.
That was kind of an odd play, though. The Packers were all there to cover that. They were just a little too close to the net.
Hi Kim into the game to swing, and number 1, Stimson to set. Stimson up to serve. Good serve by her. That's just out of bounds on the sideline. Great follow by the Packers. And Halverson will be up to serve.
That's our second service error that I can remember this set. Those really have to be cut down. That's 2 points, and 2 points can come down to the line at the end.
Swing by Hakim, handled by Kwiatkowski perfectly. And you got Weary with the kill for the Packers. In the middle, was able to tuck that into the block, and it will be a Deacons timeout.
That was a great job by Weary, too, trying to get that in the right part of the block so it just dribbles down their bodies. All right, so what do you think? What are you seeing right now, Addie?
I'm just seeing very low energy by the Deacons. There's a lot of mistakes going on. You just have to cut down on those with a strong Packers team. And the Packers defense is incredible. So we got to make sure that we're swinging hard and not being timid.
I agree, and I think that we are doing a better job. The Deacons are doing a better job of putting up blocks. And I don't see the Packers even having to put up blocks because we aren't getting good hits. We have to get good hits if we want to come back in this set and this whole entire match altogether.
I agree, Sealy. We got Helverson up to serve for the Packers. Deep serve by her, handled by Robin. Up to Carly Halstein, just a little bit. The set was a little bit too high for her, but she was able to score on that. Very impressive to be able to float that long in the air to get that over.
Definitely that athleticism, staying with it, that's very important.
Cutterbaugh up to serve. Great pass by Kwiatkowski. Peterson with the swing just out of bounds. That was a great swing by her to use the hands of Hakim and Halstein to just wipe it out of bounds. Kwiatkowski up to serve. It's a deep serve by her, handled by Cutterbaugh. Tip over by Halstein is able, or not Halstein, excuse me. Hakim is able to score for the Deacons.
That was a great play by Stimson. That was a little bit of a tough pass there from Cutterbaugh, and she really made the most of that. Holstein with the serve.
Olivia Soini able to keep that alive for just a little bit, but that will fall for the Packers. Halstein with the serve deep into the corner. Handled by Peterson, and Peterson will get the swing. Hakim with the swing, blocked back, covered by Stimson. Ullman with the swing, and that's just out of bounds for her.
Both the hits that I saw right there from the Deacons, those sets are well right by the 10-foot line, and when those sets aren't a little closer to the net, they're a lot harder to get down.
Number 4, Zepeda into the game and up to serve for the Packers. Deep serve by her, handled nicely. And Sharma with the kill for the Deacons. We haven't seen her much tonight, coming back from an injury, but both her and Halstein need to get some kills and fire up their team tonight if they want to be able to beat the Packers.
That is some of the most power that I've seen out of Maggie Sharma all season. She has to bring that all night tonight.
McNeely with the serve. Peterson just tried to roll it over, but that will be hit into the top of the tape. Roach is into the game for the Deacons to swing, and McNeely, who's up to serve, is in to set. Deep serve just out of bounds. We don't see that very much by McNeely.
Great, and that's the third or fourth one this set from the Deacons. Those are adding up.
Deep serve by Peterson. Handled, just a little roll sent over by Roach. Great set in transition. And great swing by Halverson, able to stamp that into the corner for the Deacons.
That was a great spot, and you can just see that Robin and Cutterbaugh just kind of look at each other in that situation, like who's really going to go for that ball.
Peterson with the serve, handled by the Deacons. Roach with the swing, out of bounds. And that will be point Packers. Peterson up to serve again. We're seeing a lot of errors by the Deacons, so I think they just need to clean that up to stay in this set. Peterson with a short serve this time, passed by Roach. Shorma with a swing out of bounds.
Looks like she just got a little excited there. This is the point right here. The Deacons really have to make this one count.
Peterson with the serve. Deep, handled by Ullman nicely. That'll be a set to Ullman, tipped over. Halverson with a kill off the block. That's a great swing by her. There's really no way to defend that well besides putting all your effort into that ball
If you
shanked
have
off.
that much power on the ball and it goes off the block that hard, it's really hard to get those back.
That will be an ace by the Packers. Peterson. Set point for the Packers. Short serve by her, and nearly an ace again. Roach able to get that one. And we see Soini with the dump over, able to get a free ball over
Great
from
hustle.
the Deacons. Halverson able to free ball that one over. Great up by Halverson. Able to get that over for the Packers. Tight ball. And those are things you just can't have happening. Having a free ball being tight to the net.
I think the biggest thing I'm seeing right now from the Deacons is our defense is not having their best day. We're really getting some balls not close enough to the net, too close to the net. And yes, there are really hard serves and hard hits, but that's just the biggest thing we need to work on right now is getting some good passes up to our setters.
I agree, Seeley. And this whole gym is just very flat right now. We don't see much energy from either teams. So to maybe get that person going and find that person to be able to lead your team and hype them up is what the Deacons and the Packers need right now.
Definitely, and I think that the Deacons really have to capitalize on the fact that they have Carly and Maggie back. Both of those players, Sharma and Holstein, are really vital to the Deacons team, and they really need to remember that they have those girls. They have everyone back. They can rely on each other because they need each other to get through this game and try and come out on top. Don't forget that you can connect with Shanley TV on social media. Get the latest updates about Shanley's sports teams, plus reminders about upcoming broadcasts. Like our Facebook page today at facebook.com/ShanleyTV or follow us on Twitter at Shanley TV. We'll be back in just a few short minutes. All right, we're back and ready to commence with set 2. Already, I can see a little more energy on the Deacon side of the court, and I'm hoping to see that carry over to the rest of the set.
The Packers will have the chance for the first serve in this set, and it will be Soini who gets to serve. Deep serve by her, handled by Rentschler. And that's just a little bit of a mishit by Holstein. I don't think she was expecting that set from way off the net.
Even then, it's still a rare miss from her.
Soini with the serve. Deep serve by her, just into the top of the tape. And it will be Stimson up to serve for the Deacons.
The Deacons really need to capitalize on those errors, really make them count.
Good serve by her, handled by Thiakuski. Halverson with the swing. Mesiku Hakim with the dig. And Rentschler blocked. Good up by Stimson. And Rentschler with another swing. And that looked in from up here, but it was called out. So that will be point Packers.
That's a tough one. That was a really, really close call, but what the line judge says goes, and it'll be Packers point.
Halverson with the serve, just out of bounds.
We got Vetter and Paul coming in for the Deacons.
Vetter up to serve. And Paul to swing outside for Omen. Vetter with the serve. Roll by Peterson. Smart shot by her. Little bit of a wonky set, but over by Hakim. Wasn't able to be handled well by the Packers. But Gousset with the swing, and that's out for her. Point Deacons.
Yeah, that looked like it was almost touched there by Vetter, but just barely wasn't and went out of bounds. That's a lucky one there for her.
Vetter with the serve. Deep handled by Kiekowski. Tip. And that's inbounds. I think the Deacons thought that was going out, but just on the line. Killed by Weary. McIntosh into the game for the Packers, and Kiekowski up to serve. Handled by Paul, and that will be an ace for Kiekowski. Wasn't able to get that up for the Deacons.
Great, great serve by her.
Kiekowski with the serve again. Great serve by her, and that's another ace. She's got a very tough serve, lots of experience, so these tough serves are not easy to handle. That's a short serve by her, tight to the net. And that's just a little bit of a mishit, mistimed set and swing by Stimson and Hallstein, and Kiekowski will be up to serve. Deep serve by her, handled by Robin. And looks like there was just a miscommunication. No effort really for that ball. That will be another ace for Kiekowski.
This point is really going to determine kind of how the rest of this set goes. I'm kind of seeing a timeout coming after that miscommunication. The Deacons really have to pull it together right now.
Great pass by Paul. Hakim with the swing. Beautiful dig by Kiekowski. Great swing by Gousset, and that will be a kill for her. And Kiekowski with another serve.
Gousset really has a lot of power in her swing, and that's something the Deacons really have to come back from.
Serve by Kiekowski off the ceiling, I believe, and that will just be a tip and blocked over. Looks like that was a block by with McIntosh and Gousset, and Kiekowski up to serve for the 6th time, I believe.
And that is not a number that a Deacon fan wants to hear right now.
No, not at all. Handled beautifully by Robin. Hakim with the swing. Great up by Halverson. Great hustle by Kiekowski. Good up by Sweeney. Swing and tip by Gousset, and there was just no really effort in that. So that will be a point for her. Timeout, Deacons.
Yeah, there's that timeout. I think we all saw that coming. The Packers are just thriving off of each other. One person makes a mistake, someone else is there right away. There we saw Kiekowski really coming through there with that one-arm hit to get the ball over. Those are the kind of hustle plays that fuel their energy, whereas the Deacons are kind of struggling to get those plays. They need to find their energy in different places. Someone really just has to bring the team together.
I agree, Sealy.
Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathleticlub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button, or become a member if you are not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level.
Here we got Kwiatkowski up to serve again. Deep serve by her, handled by Paul. Set for Paul. Swing. Great hustle by the Packers, but that one just wasn't able to be sent over.
And you can even see there off of that mistake there from the Packers, they're still all smiling. They still all know that they can come back from it no matter what.
Hallstein up to serve. Deep serve by her, looked like it hit off the face of Peterson. And that was great hustle by the Packers, but again, wasn't able to be sent over. Looks like that hit off the face of Peterson. That's gotta hurt.
That's a hard one, and we see that they still got it up, and she just wasn't ready to get back on that.
And that will be a service error by Hallstein.
Again, with these service errors, they might not seem like a lot in the moment. You can kind of brush it off. You got another serve coming, but the points add up, especially in a game like this.
Zepeda into the game to serve. Great pass by Paul. Swing for Highcam, handled nicely by Kwiatkowski. McIntosh with some power in the middle. That went straight down for the Packers.
I am even scared of her from up here. I can't imagine what it feels like to be cowering under her vertical, and just she gets straight on top of that ball.
Zepeda with the serve. Great serve by her, handled by Vetter. Swing by Highcam. Great dig by Zepeda. Swiney with the bump set. Swing by Peterson. Paul with the tip, handled by the Packers. Peterson with the swing, blocked back, covered. Halverson with the swing,
Great
handled
back row attack
by Robin. And that's a block for Shorma. McIntosh wasn't ready for that one to come back.
That is one of the longest volleys that we've seen all night, and it ends in a Deacons point. That is a big deal.
Roach into the game to swing for the Deacons, and McNeely up to serve. Zepeda with the dig, and that's just out of bounds for Peterson, I believe.
Good court awareness there from Paul, too, and communicating with her teammates, too.
McNeely up to serve. Good serve by her, handled by Kwiatkowski. And a slide by McIntosh, handled by McNeely. That was a great dig from her. Roach with the swing. Peterson with the tip, just into the block. Great defense by the Packers. Peterson with another swing. Great defense by Robin. Pushed over by Vetter. Peterson with the swing. Sent over by Roach. Zepeda with the pass. McIntosh. That was a great swing from her, but looks like there's just going to be a net call on the set. Point Deacons, and McNeely up to serve.
That is a lucky call there. We saw Vetter had a little bit of a hard time getting to that ball.
And that serve was just out of bounds by McNeely.
Another service error. These are really adding up. We're seeing a lot more from the Deacons and not as many from the Packers, and that kind of shows in the score.
Peterson up to serve for the Packers. Great serve by her. Just tight into the net.
Looks like we had a lift there
call
for the Deacons, yeah.
Lift call on the set. Peterson will be up to serve again. Deep serve by her. Vetter passing it over. Robin sending it. Halverson with a great swing, but looks like the coverage just wasn't there for the Deacons. On that high of a touch, I think it's almost like needs to get up. The ball needs to get up on that.
No, yeah, and you can just see everyone kind of was looking at Shorma there, but she doesn't know that if we can't talk.
McIntosh with another slide, tipped, tucked into the block, and she will get a kill on that one.
Wow. Just like she barely even touched it, and it was just perfectly placed right where she needed it.
Peterson with the serve again. I think she's going on a little run. Handled by Vetter, tight to the net again. They've put McNeely in a lot of situations like that in her rotation in the front lately. So let's see some passes off the net. Because as a setter playing in the back row, that ball is very hard to set because you can't attack it.
No, we're seeing a lot of that too. We're having some harder passes up from the Deacons, and it's a lot harder to get a good hit when you can't get a good set either. And although our setters are very talented, it's very hard to get to some of these balls, whereas the Packers are really benefiting from their great defense that they're displaying tonight. But they also have some really good hitters that are able to really adapt to every ball, and we're seeing that help them come out on top. Don't forget that you can connect with Shanley TV on social media. Get the latest updates about Shanley sports teams, plus reminders about upcoming broadcasts. Like our Facebook page today at facebook.com/ShanleyTV, or follow us on Twitter at ShanleyTV. As we're coming back, the score is Deacons 8, Packers 17. This is a real good turning point in this set where the Deacons have to make their presence known if they really want to come back.
Peterson with the serve. Handled by Paul. Back row attack by her. Good spot. Good dig. Swainey's free ball sent over by Kiekowski. Shorma with the swing. McIntosh with the tip over. Looks like there was just another miscommunication in the middle on who was going to take that ball.
Yeah, and we saw some great ups there by Kiekowski too, but the Deacons, they have to communicate.
Swainey with the set to the outside to Halverson, pushed over. Great spot and great hustle by Vetter. But on that one, those are hard to get in the corners. Pushed perfectly.
I mean, that was a great hustle by Vetter. It's just really hard that a lot of those hustle plays just aren't going the Deacons' way right now.
Looks like we got Ullman into the game for Paul, and Peterson up to serve. Deep serve by her. Great pass coming in from the bench. Tip by Shorma. Great swing by Halverson. Very smart. No way to defend that one.
That's a hard one when it goes off the block at that exact angle. That's a really hard one to come back from.
Looks like we got Finn into the game for Swainey to set. Peterson with the serve. Vetter with the pass. Ullman with the swing, and that's just blocked. Straight down by the Packers.
Wow.
Halverson and McIntosh.
But you can see, too, that even though the Packers did a great job getting that block up, there wasn't a lot of power behind that hit from the Deacons, too, to counteract that.
Peterson with the serve, handled by Ullman. Ullman with the swing. Great up by Kiekowski. Tip over by Halverson, and that's another one just in that spot that's hard to get for the Deacons.
That was still great hustle. The Deacons fans really just, we want to see that this will start to go the Deacons' way.
Peterson up to serve. Handled by Robin. McIntosh with the swing, and that's another one down for her.
We can see a push there from Shorma, and I think that everyone's starting to realize that pushing the ball right now is not going to cut it. If you have a chance at all, you have got to get any sort of swing that you can get.
Peterson with the serve. Great up by Ullman, but that's just out of bounds. That's great hustle.
Again, we're seeing it just not go their way.
Yeah. I think that's the most hustle we've seen by the Deacons tonight. So hopefully she can start something and build it up for the Deacons. Peterson with the short serve, handled by Robin. Dump over, great hustle by Zepeda. Out to Halverson, block touch. Vetter with the dig. Ullman with the swing, handled by Kiyakowski. Roll over by Halverson, dig by McNeely. Ullman with the swing again. Handled by Zepeda. Tight set, and that just wasn't able to be handled by the Packers.
That was a lot more communication from the Deacons, resulting in a point. You can see that when they're doing these things that we talk about, they're coming out on top. They just have to keep it up.
Ullman up to serve. Good serve by her, handled by Peterson. And McIntosh with the tip. Great up by the Deacons. Sent over, handled by Kikowski. McIntosh with the swing.
Oh my gosh! It's like the whole gym, everyone's breath just stops when you see that perfectly set ball and you see her coming at it. That is just incredible. It's hard, even as a Deacon fan, to want to hate. You want to hate that. You really do. But
Yes,
you can't
you do.
because it is just
It's
superior athleticism. It's amazing.
beautiful to watch. That was a great swing, great set. And that was just hammered down. She's a freshman that has really stepped into her role this year for the Packers and taking the spot of Chloe Fowl, who had unfortunately torn her ACL. She was a very big leader for the Packers last year and following years. And it's great to be able to see these middles get up and get into it for the Packers.
No, definitely. And yeah, you're seeing some of these really great players from the Packers not coming back this year because they've graduated or for other reasons. And you're just seeing all these players emerge, and they're doing things like that, getting us almost speechless up here. And that's, I think, one thing that the Deacons kind of have to take on. They need to have that energy and just that confidence. I think we're seeing a lot of players not confident in their abilities.
I agree. And the one thing about the Packers is a lot of people underestimated them this year. They lost a lot of good people last year, like their outside, Mary, and their other outside, Kiyakowski.
And those are two really big players just there.
Yes.
And the Deacons know, too, from losing even Shorma and Holstein, how much it can mean to lose those players. And both teams are very young, but the Packers are just on top so far. But this set will determine how this game goes. And if the Deacons want any shot at coming back here, they got to make it happen.
We're starting the game soon, just checking lineups. And I think it's Stipson up to serve. That's correct.
Again, I think that I've been stressing a lot about the serving and the service errors tonight. We got to assert some dominance early. Assert some dominance early.
Stimson with the good serve. Gustet with the swing. Just tooled the block of the Deacons. Very smart shot. There's no way to defend that.
Just perfectly placed ball. It really doesn't get much better than that.
Zepeda into the game to serve. Great serve by her. And that will be an ace.
That's a hard pill to swallow there, just going off of Stimson. That's a hard one.
Zepeda with the serve again. Good hustle by Robin. Free ball sent over by Ullman. Kiekowski with the set. Peterson with the swing. Robin with the dig.
We got
And that
a
will be
whistle.
a double hit by the Deacons.
Don't know who that was on, though, Addie. Interesting call there.
I believe it was on Stimson, but that set looked pretty clean to me, so I'm not sure. Zepeda with the swing. Rentschler with the kill. Looked like a little mishit, but that went her way tonight.
Again, even if it wasn't quite on purpose, that was still great ball placement by her.
Vetter into the game for the Deacons and up to serve. Good serve by her, handled by Kiekowski. Gustet with the tip. And that will fall on the Deacon side. Point Packers. Kiekowski with the serve.
I still need some more communication from the Deacons if they want to come back.
And that will be an ace for the Packers. Kiekowski with the serve.
Got to see some better defense here from the Deacons, hopefully.
Great pass
Great
by
hands by
Vetter.
Vetter.
And Ullman just into the tape.
I still like the confidence that we saw out of her there with that hit. She was strong with it. It just didn't get on the right part of the net there, but she can make it happen, and she has to believe it.
Kiekowski with the swing. Good touch by Haikim to try to keep it in play, but that was just shanked off her arm. That will be an ace for Kiekowski, and Kiekowski up to serve. Short serve by her. That was just out of bounds. Point Deacons.
Great attempt, but again, that's some really good spatial awareness there from the Deacons.
Holstein up to serve. Shorma into the game to swing for the Deacons. That was a good serve by her, handled by Zepeda. Peterson with the swing, and that's another one she just used off the block. Their outsides and all their hitters, frankly, have been doing very well using the block and swinging. We got Finn into the game to serve.
Let's see what she can do.
It's a good serve by her, and that's an ace.
She was quite a ways from the line, too, just a rocket. Obviously, she knows what works for her, and it has worked.
Yes. Finn into the game to serve. That's another one just going off the hands. Passed up. And McIntosh with another kill tucked under the block of Shorma.
That was still a great attempt by Shorma. I love to see her getting that block up, even if it just did seem to be her that time. It's just really hard going against that power on the other side of the net.
Finn with the serve, handled by Robin. Ullman stuffed straight down by the Packers. We got McIntosh and Moosin.
Got a timeout here from the Deacons. That is a hard one. It looks like the Deacons were beginning to start covering, but really did not get there in time. What do you think that the Deacons need to do to come back?
I think they really just need to have energy. They need to get a pass. You can't. The pass is what wins games. You need a pass to be able to get a set and a kill. If you have a pass that's off, it's harder to set, and then you can't swing at your full potential. So just getting a pass and being able to run their offense.
That is the biggest thing, and it seems so simple, but it really is one of the hardest things too.
Finn up to serve for the Packers. She's been on a little run of her own at the service line. Deep serve by her. She's got a lot of power
She
on
has
that
a lot
thing.
of power on that serve.
High Kim. Great up by Kikowski. Muse, and that will be a kill for her. Great swing down the line. Wasn't able to be handled by the Deacons.
Again, it just seems that the Deacons are they are hustling as one would really want, but it's just the ball just centimeters hitting the wrong part of the hand, whatever it may be, it's just not going the Deacons' way.
Finn with a great serve again. Ullman with a little roll shot over. Handled by Kikowski. Out to Peterson. Great dig by Stimson. Ullman with just a tip. And looks like that was just a little bit of miscommunication by the Packers.
Definitely, we do not see the Packers misread those type of balls very often.
Roach into the game to swing for the Deacons, and McNeely up to serve and set. Deep serve by her, handled by Zepeda. Good set to Musin, handled by Vetter. Ullman with the kill.
There we go. She needs to get hot because we've seen from games past when she is on, and she needs to be on right now to help her Deacons.
McNeely with the serve. And just a little bit too high of a set for McIntosh, but was able to get that over. Shorma with a little tip over, handled by Peterson, and then Peterson with the tip, blocked. Thrown over by Ullman, and that will just be a point for her. A little bit of another miscommunication by the Packers.
That was a little interesting stage of events there. We see the ball rolling along the net, and that's a rare one where it did go the Deacons' way. Let's hope they can keep that up.
McNeely with the serve, handled by Peterson. Bump set by Kikowski, and that will be a kill for Peterson. Stamped into the back corner.
Wow.
She's really good at those shots tonight.
That was another close one. But that time it went in the Packers' direction.
Peterson up to serve for the Packers. And that's just into the top of the tape for her. Point Deacons.
Deacons really need to build the energy right here, right now off of these service errors. Any point you can get, no matter how you earn that point, is a point earned. They have to remember that, and they have to get going.
Ullman up to serve for the Deacons. And that's a short serve by her. Up with Peterson. And Shorma with the kill, just swiping it over to the net.
You can see Shorma really getting into it there, and we love to see that, and that is what the Deacons need. As silly as it might look to some, that is what's going to get them through this game and hopefully get them on top.
Ullman with the serve, deep into the corner, handled by Halverson. And a swing from her. That was up by the Deacons, and this one has to be sent over. And that will be a point for the Deacons.
Oh my gosh,
Dodge.
We're seeing a crazy stage of events here. A lot of it is finally going the Deacons' way. An amazing once-in-a-lifetime pass through the ceiling by Caitlin Ullman.
Yeah, that thing had to dodge a lot of obstacles, so very lucky that it did. And she'll be back to serve.
Let's see what they can do here.
A kill by Rentschler on the outside. That was a great setup by McNeely and a great swing to get a kill.
Amazing hit by her, using that block to her advantage.
Ullman with another serve, going on a little run. Deep serve by her, handled by Kikowski, and dump over. Great hustle by Robin.
Good quickness.
Rentschler with the swing, handled by Kikowski. Halverson just into the top of the tape. That will be point Deacons.
That is another great point for the Deacons, and we're seeing this energy build off of just those two plays. They gotta keep it going.
Ullman up to serve. Deep serve by her, handled nicely by Peterson. And looks like another miscommunication, able to be sent over by the Packers. Tip, blocked back. And that was just a swing out of bounds.
The Deacons were all saying a little prayer in their heads there that one was going to go out of bounds. None of them really making a move to go for it.
Omen with the serve. Handled by Halverson, and Halverson with the roll over. Looks like just a little bit of another miscommunication by the Deacons, and that will be point Packers. McIntosh up to serve.
We haven't said the word point Packers in a while. That was a really good run there for the Deacons. Let's hope they can get that back to stay in the set.
Rentschler handling it, and then getting stuffed by the Packers.
That is a big, strong block we're seeing from the Packers.
That was a great block. McIntosh to serve. Good serve by her, handled nicely by Robin, and Roach with the swing. I think that's the first time we've said her name, and we really got to see her get going for the Deacons to be able to stay in this game and maybe even win it.
That is a big team and a big deal, and Roach is one of those players where however she's feeling really radiates on the team. So when she's feeling good and confident, that's how the team's going to feel.
I agree. Holstein is into the game. And that was a great kill by Rentschler.
I'm glad to see her get one of those go her way. She's been getting into the block a few times lately. You can see it kind of weighing down on her, but she was full and strong there, and it went her way.
Robin with the serve. Little miscommunication, but able to be sent over by Peterson. Holstein with the swing, and that's just out of bounds. I believe that was touched, but we're seeing split agreements.
We are. The line judge on the opposite side had called it out of bounds, which it was. But the line judge over here is saying that it went off the Packers block. And it looks like it will end up being a Deacon point.
Very smart shot by Carly Holstein.
A little bit of a risky run it turned out to be, but it did end up going their way.
Robin with the serve. Handled by Halverson. Hussein.
Great block, great
blocked. Halverson into the net. And we are at a tied game.
I don't know if I saw this one coming, Addie. We see a substitution coming here for the Packers. The Deacons got to keep this energy.
Olivia Soini back into the game. Great set by her to Halverson. Great dig by Omen. Rentschler. And they will say that that ball was out of bounds.
Wow, that is a hard pill to swallow. That was a very close one, Addie. I don't know about that one.
Soini with the serve. Great dig by Soini.
Great up by McNeely there.
Robin with the swing, handled by Soini. Bousset.
Still great hustle from the Deacons there, but it's just going to end up barely going off of the fingertips of the Deacons. Let's get this one back, Deacons.
Served by Soini, handled by Rentschler. Swing by Omen in the back row. Gousset with the swing. Dump over by McNeely, and that will score.
That was, her eyes weren't even there. You would have never known that that was her plan, and that was great. And we see, one thing I'm seeing from the Packers is we had Gousset there really trying to get some power behind that, but not her usual power. The Packers have to get back to their game that they've been playing this whole time.
Hi Kim into the game to swing, and Stimson with the serve. Halverson with the kill. That was up for a little bit, but that will fall on the Deacon side.
Still some great hustle. Still a very close game.
Zepeda into the game for the Packers, and up to serve. Great hands by Robin. Hi Kim with the kill on the outside. That will get the team going.
That will. And we're seeing that Kim, as we said at the beginning, has come off a really great game. And we want to see her really let her color show right about now. This is the time she needs to show her abilities.
Served by Vetter. Soini with the set to Peterson. Great swing by Peterson. It was up for a little bit on the side of the Deacons, but in the end it fell.
Yeah, we saw good up there by Vetter, but just not the best one she could give.
Kwiatkowski with the serve.
Much better there from her.
Kwiatkowski with the dig. McIntosh,
up by
great
Robin.
up by Robin.
Wow.
Push over by Ullman. And tipped over by McIntosh. Swing by Highcam, great up by Zepeda. And Peterson with the swing.
There you go, Ullman, wow.
Ullman with the swing. And that will be a kill for her. Kwiatkowski couldn't handle the heat on that one. Great swing by Ullman.
And getting a kill like that on Kwiatkowski, that can be a little rare. We really
Very rare.
We love to see that from Ullman and from the Deacons.
Holstein with the serve. McIntosh with the swing. Great up by Stimson.
That was a great touch for the block.
Vetter with the set. Ullman sending it over. Kwiatkowski.
Oh.
McIntosh with the kill. No one there. And swings perfectly.
Wow, that's a hard one. It's like both players were there, but just not timing there right.
Finn into the game for the Packers. Great serve, great up by Vetter. And that will just fall. I think the Deacons really just have to communicate about that one. That one was a sloppy play by the Packers, but able to score. Very lucky. Finn up to serve. Deep serve by her. Overpass. Able to be controlled by Stimson. Peterson with the swing. And that is just out of bounds by the Packers. Point Deacons.
That is a great play there from the Deacons there, making sure that that one does go out of bounds and really talking about it. You could hear it that time.
Roach into the game to swing for the Deacons, and McNeely up to serve. Handled by Zepeda. Peterson with the swing. Ullman, great dig. McIntosh tipping just over the net. Roach stuffed straight down. Beautiful block by Peterson and McIntosh.
You saw her trying to get around that block, but the Packers did a great job of estimating where that hit was going to go and being at the perfect spot.
Halverson into the game for the Packers and Peterson up to serve. That's a great serve by Peterson. Handled nicely by the Deacons, and that's a kill by Ullman, hitting right in between players. They just weren't ready for it.
That is a great hit from her. We need that confidence right now.
Ullman up to serve. Swing by Halverson, handled by Ullman. Tip by Shorma. And Halverson just into the net for the Packers. Point Deacons.
That was a great attempt there by the Packers to get that one over, but just hitting the net, that's kind of a rare thing. We haven't seen that a lot tonight from them.
Ullman up to serve. Deep serve just out of bounds by her.
That is a tough one right now. That is not what the Deacons want.
McIntosh up to serve and Weary into the game for the Packers. Good serve by McIntosh. Able to be handled by Rentschler. And Rentschler with the swing.
Set
And
was
that-
just a little far.
Yep, and that will be out of bounds by the Deacons. McIntosh up to serve. Set point, game point. Great hustle by Roach. And Halverson with the swing, able to be handled by Robin. Rentschler, great hustle play.
Great hit by her.
Tip by Rentschler, handled by the Packers. Halverson with a great swing, but
Up,
great
good
up
up.
by Ullman. And blocked, and that will end the game for the Packers.
Wow.
Packers winning 3-0.
That is a hard one. I think that the Deacons really started to come back that last set, and it's really hard to have that kind of hope towards the end and to have it not go your way. For Addie Bogenreef and our entire crew, I'm Celie Stockmo. The final score from Fargo, Shanley Deacons 0, Packers 3. To watch the archive version of this entire game and our other broadcasts, go to shanleytv.com. The proceeding has been a presentation of Shanley TV.